China had tough talk for Taiwan on Thursday, warning the self-ruled island that seeking independence means war. It comes on the heels of stepped-up military activities in waters nearby. China claims the island as its own territory and believes its democratically ruled government is moving closer toward a formal declaration of independence. Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen has repeatedly said it is already an independent country called the Republic of China, its formal name. On Tuesday, Taiwan Air Force jets took off into the sky in a drill simulating a war scenario after dozens of Chinese warplanes flew into the island's air defense zone over the weekend. Chinese Defense Ministry spokesman Wu Qian on Thursday defended its recent military activities in Taiwan as, quote, necessary actions to safeguard national sovereignty and security, and warned against external interference and provocations by Taiwan independence forces.
From Brazil, where researchers in the country have found that there are some COVID-19 patients who, believe it or not, have been infected with two different strains of coronavirus simultaneously. The researchers say that they are the first in the world to confirm co-infection with two different strains of the coronavirus. The new findings in the research in southern Brazil has concerned a lot of experts about the growing number of variants in the country. Although the study has yet to be published in a scientific journal and so far has not been peer-reviewed. The study has found two patients, both of them in their 30s, that were infected with two different strains of COVID-19 in late November in Rio de Janeiro. The symptoms were reportedly just mild, with dry cough in one case and coughing, sore throat and headache in the second. They did not require any hospitalization, and the cases underscore as to how many variants can actually be circulating in Brazil.
Well, at the moment, there are three regions in France which either confirmed or reported to have said that they're going to stop these vaccine jabs. As you mentioned, the region around Paris, the Hauts-de-France, which is in northern France, and Burgundy. So we're already starting to see the effects of these shortages on the ground. In the case of one of these three regions, we're being told that the jabs will actually be pushed back until March. So that's a whole month of delay, which is pretty startling, considering, and disheartening, I should say, given that this is precisely the same window when we could be talking about a full third national lockdown.
The World Food Programme says there has been no response to an appeal it made for humanitarian help for people facing hunger in Madagascar. Last week, the UN issued a so-called flash appeal. The island country's agricultural season was ruined by the worst drought in a decade. Now, because of that drought, more than 1 million people in southern Madagascar will need food aid this year. Now, the pandemic has added to the hardship. The seasonal work that people often rely on has been affected by the lockdown.
To an armed hostage standoff at a pediatrician's office in Texas that ended in tragedy. The gunman with terminal cancer killed a doctor, a mother of 3, before turning the gun on himself. Marcus Moore has the story.
This morning, a city grieving as investigators try to figure out what led to a hostage standoff and murder-suicide. Tuesday afternoon, Austin, Texas police officers responded to reports that a man now identified as Dr. Bharat Narumanchi was holding 5 workers hostage at a pediatric doctor's office.
There were no patients or children that were at the building when the suspect arrived on scene.
Police say Narumanchi had multiple guns when he walked into the building.
He displayed a gun and told the hostages to tie themselves up. Some of the hostages were able to escape, and some of them were ultimately released.
The doctor's still inside with the suspect.
The last hostage, 43-year-old Dr. Catherine Lindley Dodson, a mother of 3, could not escape.
The Korea Aerospace Research Institute says it has succeeded in carrying out a first-stage engine combustion test of its satellite-carrying Newty space rocket, which lasted for 30 seconds. Newty is South Korea's first locally built rocket designed to carry a 1.5-ton satellite into Earth's orbit, hundreds of kilometers up in the sky. The rocket is over 47 meters long and weighs about 200 tons. It's scheduled to be launched into space in October this year after undergoing further tests to verify its functions.
The reasons behind the changes that we're actually making is just so that our tariffs reflect a more updated environment. You know, the last time we made changes to our tariffs was in 2012, so it's 8 years ago. So it's important that we actually make these changes so that customers get the right signals for the usage, and it's just we're modernizing our tariffs. I would like to actually clarify some of the misunderstandings that may have been created by Mr. Blom's interview yesterday, that we're going to be earning extra revenue from these tariffs. We are not. The sum of all the changes we're making equals the NERSA-approved revenue requirement. So by slightly reducing the winter rates, which is for 3 months, and increasing the 9 months in the summer, the sum of the 2 changes is revenue neutral for Eskom. We're not earning extra money from this.
At Sotheby's for the Botticelli, $80 million. It's yours. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you so much.
One of only around a dozen portraits by Botticelli known to survive today. The Italian Renaissance artist's young man holding a roundel sold for $92 million, including fees, on Thursday. It shows an unknown young man, likely a member of Florence's elite in the late 15th century. Sotheby's said it was one of the most significant and valuable portraits of any period ever to appear at auction.
When I just stand in front of this painting, it gives me such great pleasure still. It still takes my breath away. It has a force that is just astounding. It's perfect in every way, really, the condition, the surface, the story, the type of what it is.
The auction was conducted by bidders on the phone and online. The 15th century work had carried a pre-sale estimate of $80 million, and Sotheby's had thought it might fetch more than 100 million.
Masa tahanan sama dengan sebanyak 3 kali cambuk. 46, 47, 76, 77, cukup. 14, 18.